What's up, beautiful jellyfish? It's Tracy, and today I'm going to be doing a video talking all about control in Modern. Now, I've actually already done a video talking about aggro in Modern and combo. If you want to check those out, you can totally do that. But today we're going to be talking all about control. Yay! Okay, cool. So, there's this website that I used in the last two videos, which is called MTG Top 8. This is a really awesome website. This basically goes through, like, people who've, like, top 8'd, like big events with these decks. These are people who know what they're doing, people who build good decks and stuff like that. So within the last 2 months, right now the metagame, Control's taking up 17%. Control is pretty okay. I'm actually going to be talking about my favorite Control deck that is in Modern right now, but we're going to just go through and talk about all these decks. So the first deck I want to talk to you guys about is Tron. I'm going to be doing a whole video talking all about Tron and stuff, but the short version is there's two kind of main versions of Tron that you'll see. You'll see I literally just merged the words red and green together. Green, red, and then you have, it's called, like, GIFs Tron. It's like tricolor, like, kind of a thing. I'll get to that in a minute, but basically with the thing with green-red that makes this deck really, really strong. Let me explain the whole thing about Tron. Basically, it revolves around the Urza lands. So if you have them out, you have this magical number 7, you pop out Karn, they cry, you play Ugin, and you do a lot of cool things. And there's an Emrakul in there, so, you know, I mean, hey, it's a great day when you can play an Emrakul, right? I feel like that's a really good day when you just play an Emrakul. It sounds like a really good time. Okay. Anyways, so basically, I think one of the things that's really strong about running Green-Red Tron versus Gifts is that Green-Red has this really awesome card called Ancient Stirrings. Now, someone who is a Bloom player, I can say that Ancient Stirrings is a fantastic magic card. It spins through your deck for you, and you can get a lot of cards. The cards that you need, really. You can get a land if you need that, or you can get a colorless creature, which the deck runs, which is really awesome. So, I'm sorry, a colorless card. So overall, I just really think that Ancient Stirrings is good, and another card that's just super good, it's actually getting reprinted in Battle for Zendikar. So if you're planning on building Tron, hey, you should check out for this card. It's called Sylvan Scrying, I believe. This card is really fantastic. It's just kind of like, hey, there's this land that I like in my deck, and I'm gonna put it in my hand. It's just really, really good. So I think Green-Red is just really, really strong, and now we'll talk about Gifts a little bit. Basically it revolves around this card, Gifts Ungiven. There's a guy who goes to the card store that I also go to who has, the Gifts version of Tron, and I don't know how I feel about it. I like it, and I just think that it's they're just using the Tron lands in a different way, and they're playing the more, like, control game with, like, blue, so they're running counter spells and, like, stuff like that. And it has this weird kind of thing where it's like, it doesn't really thin through your deck because it doesn't have Ancient Stirrings and it doesn't have Sylvan Scrying, so it, like, doesn't do that, but instead it controls the game and waits until you have enough mana to play your thing. So, I don't know, it's just, I feel like, the thing is that I feel like just the fact that you can dig with those green cards, I feel like just makes Tron just so much stronger if you run green in it, and I'm not dissing anyone who wants to build Gifts, I just think that the deck works and functions better as green-red. So those are just my feelings on it. Like I said, I've never built the deck before, but if I did, I would definitely have green in it, because I just think that I think it's too good to pass up, in my personal opinion. However, I think that Gifts Ungiven is a great card. I've seen people do, like, 4-color Gifts type of deck, so but yeah, the Gifts deck runs, Iona, it runs Elshnorn, and then it runs, Unburial Rites. That's the card, so you want to put Unburial Rites in your graveyard. The thing is that the deck doesn't run black, which is kind of why I said it's, like, an awkward sort of, like, color thing, because it's, like, you can't play the card because you don't have black mana anywhere, but you want to get it in your graveyard, so you play Gifts Ungiven, you grab Iona, you grab Elshnorn, you grab whatever big dude you want, and then you flashback Unburial Rites, and then you get back whatever creature it is to the battlefield, and probably just win at that point. Because if you cast Iona and you're playing against a monocolored, Iona shuts a lot of people down. So it definitely is still powerful, it's just, I think it's different. I don't know, I don't think it's necessarily bad, though. Cool. Now we talk about my all-time favorite Control deck in Modern, and I love this deck, and I just recently came acquainted to it when I played against two girls, oddly enough, which is really interesting, who are both running Grixis Control. I love Grixis Control a lot. If you're gonna build a Control deck, you should look into Grixis Control because it's sweet. This deck is just like, it's just so good. Like, the thing is that a lot of times what people will say about control games is they're very grindy, right? Like, Modern is a turn 4 format. You probably want to be winning on turn 4, but control games are like, no, let's go to turn, like, 20, because I'm just gonna ping you 2 damage every turn with my Snapcaster Mage. And you're just like, this is miserable. And you're just sitting there like, this is not fun, right? The thing that I love so much about Grixis Control is that it has the aggressive elements with Gurmag Angler and with Tasigur, and then it has those burn elements. Yes, it has those burn elements with red. So you run Lightning Bolt and like stuff like that. I mean, of course you are going to be running Snapcaster Mage, which, by the way, my friend Justin calls it snappy. How do you guys feel about that? I'm a huge fan of that. Calling Snapcaster Mage snappy, I'm going to do that. I like that. But yeah, no, the deck is really sweet. If you are going to build Grixis Control Man, you gotta be looking at Patrick Chapin's list. It's just really awesome. I'm going to do a whole video talking about Grixis Control because it's just, I think it's just one of the best decks in Modern, period. I think it's just really good. And again, I like it. I'm looking at this deck list right now that's running Jace, the new Jace. That is really interesting. I like that. Okay, cool. Okay, so now we're going to be moving on to blue-white mid-range. This is not something that is super popular. Not something I have actually ever played against in my time in Modern. And this deck is pretty interesting. It's similar to Grixis Control in that it has a couple more creatures, so again, it's not just every turn hitting you with the Snapcaster Mage. It runs Restoration Angel, which I really like, because you can Restoration Angel, flashback your Snapcaster Mage. You can Resto Angel, flicker your Snapcaster Mage, and you get another trigger off of that. The thing is that requires a lot of mana, but because Resto is 4, and then no, Resto is 4, and then it has flashback or whatever. Yeah, okay. I just completely failed at mathing right there for a second. But yeah, and then it runs Vendilion Quick, which is really sweet. And kind of segue into talking about blue-white control. This one does have like that lack of creatures. It runs Sphinx's Revelation, which I really like. I just really like Sphinx's Rev. I just think that card's really sweet. It's just end of turn, you didn't cast anything worth threatening, I'm gonna play Sphinx's Rev. My whole thing about these two decks, blue-white, is I just feel like if you're gonna do control, I feel like you should just do, like, Grixis Control. And I'm not saying that simply because, like, I just really like the deck list. I'm saying it because I just think these two decks are just not that well positioned. I just think there's much stronger things to running. I think there's much better options to go with. I just think the deck is just a little bit slow. I don't know. I'm just not, I just don't really love it. It's not one of my favorite things. But that's just me. If you like blue-white control, hey man, good for you. I honestly, I think Grixis Control is just way better positioned. Cool. Okay, then we get into the last list. I actually really don't know why this is under the control matchup, control category. I really don't know, but that is, Martyr Life / Soul Sisters. This deck's pretty sweet. It's mono white, and it's basically just life gain. It's like, I'm gonna gain lots of life, I'm gonna play a Johnny's Pride Meat, I'm gonna play Sarah Ascended, and then I'm gonna smack you in the face. Now, my biggest thing, I think, with this deck is it can gain a lot of life, but what about games where life totals don't matter? And the thing is that when this is really a huge thing of, like, your matchups and stuff like that, like, who you get paired against, because the thing is that aggro is just taking up so much, so a lot of time, like, of the meta, so it's like, if you play against, you're gonna play against a lot of aggro decks, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, if you go to your local card store or something like that, everyone there could just be playing, like, control or combo, where your life total does not matter. So, you know, and then, I don't know, I mean, I like the deck. I think that it's sweet. I don't really know how great it is in terms of power level. I mean, it runs Path to Exile, which, I mean, like, as, like, white decks in Modern should. Does this deck not run? Oh no, it does run Path to Exile. I got really concerned for a minute. That's it. I feel like this is really short. I feel like there's just not really that many control options. Just Grixis Control now. But yes, that's it. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day / night.